Hello, dear Leo. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your May 2021 horoscope. And I'm very excited because I feel like you've had a decent month in April. Now, I know that life is not constant. That is the one thing that I guess you could say constantly does change. So we can count on that. And for a fixed sign, that's not always easy for you. However, I would say that hopefully the month of April has had more positives than negatives, especially because you've had quite a bit of activity at the beginning of April, in particular with all that Aries fire energy, which complements your fire. And now we've got a lot of this Taurus energy that has been activating your 10th house. And I'd love to hear, Leo, if you've had some accolades, some people recognizing your hard work and your reputation out in the world, also giving you opportunities to be able to shine. And now we've got the activity moving, I shouldn't say out of your 10th house, but more focused on your 11th house activities. And so we're going to start the month on May 4th with Mercury entering its sign of Gemini in your 11th house, most likely creating a lot of communication and connection activities, because Gemini loves to flit and float, and it's like the butterfly going from one flower to another. And with this being in your 11th house, you will most likely have all this activity with your groups, the places in which you individuate within the collective. So you may find yourself in charge of disseminating information that is shared through a collective voice. So you become the voice for the collective in what needs to be shared. The other thing that individually that this could find is that you may be going to workshops or retreats or situations within groups where you're speaking, or you're helping to put together information that gets shared to the group of like-minded people. And so this could be for a common purpose that allows you to be able to offer your gifts that you've been collecting and gathering over the last few weeks and months. And now you can do it on a grander scale. I think about one Leo that I know who is big into the health and fitness world, that Leo may end up teaching group classes versus working with someone individually, or as Mercury is in Gemini here, may end up having two streams of group classes. Maybe there was one that they focused on, and then there's another one that they start during the month of May. So maybe that example can apply to some of you Leos if you're looking at projects that you're working on, or you're looking at maybe buying a second home, and so you start doing some research and communicating with the realtor and say, this is part of the community in which I want to live, and I'm going to buy a house here, or I'm going to get a rental property here so that I can, travel and do more with it. Now, the great thing about the example of buying property or renting property at a second location is that May 9th, Venus will enter Gemini in the 11th house as well, attracting the opportunities, looking at the financial pieces, and maybe even activating some conversation around relationship for you. Maybe if you're partnered with somebody, that you and your partner have been talking about it, maybe the seed was planted a while ago, that now you get to sit down and go, we really do want to do this. What information do we need to gather in order to make this happen? Maybe some contracts start to get written during this time. The other thing is that with Venus and Gemini, many of you single Leos will probably have some options and some choices. If you're thinking about doing online dating, this is a great energy to support that, especially in that 11th house, because you're going to look at a particular group. So let's say you're a Plenty of Fish person, or a Hinge, or what are some of the other Match, Bumble, I mean, Tinder. I know there's so many, I could probably keep going down the list. You can research it, but this could give you options for your love life. if you are focused on that. I would venture to say, Leo, that a lot of you may be more focused on just your friendships and success right now. I feel like career has been so super focused for you. With Venus here, you may be looking at things financially and saying, how can I gather more information to make more money? So that could be something as well. Now, the support you have towards this on May 11th is the new moon is going to be in Taurus in your 10th house. So that also gives me a good indication that many of you Leos are going to be looking at new sources in which you can continue to shine, that you can put your reputation out there. If your focus is on success and money and your business, this might be an opportunity if you're, let's say, wanting to create your own business, to have those discussions, and that you'll find the impact that you've had on others. One or two investors may come forward, or people who want to partner with you, or say, or just kind of boost you and say, go for this, Leo, because I'll be one of your clients or whatnot. So that's one example. The other thing is, I would say this new moon, many of you Leos will either be getting a promotion or at least having conversation around it, or you will be thrust into the spotlight, but it's not a thrusting in a negative way, more of a, you've done some really good stuff here and we want to celebrate it. And we want to make sure that you have something tangible that you can walk away with. So it could be that you get paid out some sort of commission. Now, the other thing is, we have on May 13th, Jupiter is dipping its toe into Pisces in your 8th house. Another good indication, I sense you will get some sort of bonus, some sort of loan that you've been wanting, or money paying out that way. This has to do with your joint resources. And it also, 8th house has to do with inheritance or taxes. I know that they've extended the tax deadline to May 17th. So here comes Jupiter in your 8th house where taxes are. You may find that you could find new ways to save on your taxes, or you get a little bit more back than you didn't plan on or expect. The other thing is, you may feel the expansion or urgency of getting your taxes done, right? So that's another thing that could show up. But beyond the monetary piece, this 8th house activation with Jupiter, you may be looking at ways in which you can deepen your faith in something or someone that allows you to be able to have deeper intimacy. You may find yourself wanting to escape the mundane and go into more of the spiritual or the more metaphysical and occult kind of energy. Maybe you're more open-minded than you have been before to exploring some of those things, and you do it with someone who is already in that field, and it allows you to be able to find new resources that you can tap into to expand your quality of life, your quality of relationships, your quality of mind, body, spirit connection. The other thing that I would say, especially as we always have to look at relationships, Leo, if you're in a bonded relationship, Jupiter and Pisces in the 8th house could activate this desire to deepen that partnership. Maybe you decide you want to have a baby. Maybe you're taking your relationship to that next level. Those of you who are single, this is another beautiful activation to find that dating partner, and maybe you'll just know immediately that this is who I want to really deepen and partner with. On May 20th, the sun will enter Gemini, activating your 11th house even more, energizing, giving you this beautiful sextile that makes you really shine in your friendships, in your groups. So again, you may be energized and get really creative, find your sense of purpose, being a leader within a group. It could be at work. It could also be just in your leisurely activities. But either way, I definitely feel like you're going to feel a little bit more energized to say, I have all these gifts and these talents, and I want to make sure that they're used for the benefit of humanity. I would also offer that the month of May could find you supporting and helping your friends a little bit more than normal. So you may find that you're finally stabilized. I shouldn't say finally. Some of you I know have been feeling a little wobbly, but I feel like, month of May, you should start to stabilize a little bit more, and you'll find that a lot of your friends may need your support, especially as we still have this square going on between Saturn and Uranus. and it makes a square to your sun, rising sign, or moon. So the tensions can be there, but it may not be with you. It could be with those that you support or those that you're connected to. Another pin on the map for the month of May, we have a Sagittarius full moon eclipse in your fifth house. That's on May 26th, 27th, depending on where you are in the world. And that could find you maybe letting go of an addiction, like gambling addiction, or a place of pleasure that really wasn't in your best interest. But that's the shadow side. It also could see you letting go of maybe a love affair, but that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. It's more like you're ready to get serious about relationship because you feel more stabilized in your career or in your reputation, and that now it's like no more of this surfacey kind of love affair thing. I'm ready to deepen. I'm ready to go to that next level, and this particular person I've been playing around with isn't really what I need or want. It could also be that you have connected with somebody and you've been just sort of surface about it. And you're like, I'm going to let go of the surfacey part and I'm ready now to commit. So that's another thing that this eclipse could have for you. And remember, it doesn't always happen on the eclipse. Sometimes it can happen a month before, a month after. So eclipses have this ability to be able to expand us, right? And to touch us in bigger ways because it's a newer full moon on steroids. Also keep in mind that this particular eclipse is a bookend to the one on December 14th last year. So if there's been a theme that was active around December, November, December, January time, that this could bookend that for you. The other thing I will offer is Mercury. As I mentioned at the beginning, it is in Gemini, its home sign in your 11th house. It will retrograde at the end of the month on the 29th. So I will talk about that in more detail on my Celestial Wisdom videos. So of course, come to this channel and check that out. I post those weekly. But for you in Leo, so again, Leo sun, rising moon, Mercury retrograde in Gemini in the 11th house gives you more 11th house issues or themes that you get to revisit, redo, refine, research, all those RE, rejuvenate. So it may be at the beginning of the month, some of your friendships or your groups that you belong to that you're like, I don't know, I could take it or leave it. You may come back and reconsider. I would offer that, Leo, for you, this Mercury retrograde will have you reconsidering some of the decisions that you've made over the last month. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. Saturn retrograde, I did miss that for you. Seventh house, that has to do with relationships, partnerships, contracts. Saturn retrograde will have you going back over for the next several months because it does go direct on October 10th. So between now and October 10th, May 23rd and October 10th, you will most likely be revisiting certain relationship dynamics, maybe a particular relationship, partnership. It doesn't necessarily mean personal. It can also be business that you are revisiting and you're wanting to build in a new structure or in a new way. And so with this being in Aquarius, it may be that your idea of what partnership and relationship look like could change over time. All right, Leo, I certainly hope that this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and find me at jamiedawn.com. Have a great month, Leo.